It should be complete. Minimum 2000 words. It should be in the form of a story. Travelogue should be in the form of a story. Okay, let's move on to the next chapter, advertisement comprehension. Comprehension means what? How do you understand this advertisement? Advertisement, the main purpose of advertisement is to convince somebody, propagating a product and other aspects. So how do we understand? Because advertisement will have multiple aspects. Advertisement is an essential part of business, and so is advertisement analysis. So apart from advertisement, analyzing the advertisement also is part of business, because how is your advertising performing? That also plays a very important role. Simply investing lakhs of rupees on advertisement, but it is not yielding anything, it goes waste. The current market is very competitive. So to survive, businesses have to do eye-catching ads, and ad analysis helps in identifying the gaps and how best to fill them. As a marketing student, at some point in your studies, you may need to do an ad analysis essay. In this kind of essay, your work would be to discuss a specific advert, or means advertisement, scrutinize it, and explain why the ad was carried out and how it has influenced the target audience. But to come up with a comprehensive and proper ad analysis essay, you need to do intensive research on every stage of ad structure and the product or service being advertised. Advertisement analysis. An essay is type of academic essay that requires a writer to examine an advertisement. It is usually written about a print or TV commercial, and its aim is to find any hidden messages in the ad. So this is what you have to do. You have to look for unsaid information or messages that are untold, which may be deceptive or misleading. This can be done by examining various aspects such as gender. Gender is very much important. Many times, certain types of dress are associated. Pink is associated with girls. It's gender stereotype. Blue with boys. Okay, such things are also mentioned, or it indirectly connotes age. It's a stereotype. Why is that your girls or women are asked to wear sari? Why not men? But it's not acceptable, right? So it's a stereotype, means it's constructed. Age of the target market. Age is also very much important. Many times you see advertisements, it says above 18, below 18, even films as well. Use of lighting, color schemes. Lighting is also very much important. What about color schemes? Color schemes in queer theory especially, the focus is on color. And musical notes as well. Music, etc. For example, you can explain how advertising gives youngsters. Okay, you can explain how advertising gives young males a dominant position over women through almost every detail on the display in the ad. Okay, men are given more prominence than the women. Okay, even in films as well. Okay, the counterpart would then have to analyze the same ad from the point of view that it treats both male and female equally, therefore taking away any preconceived notions regarding gender inequality. So till now, the pre-reading activity related to advertisement that you did, you try to create your own script, okay, by assessing the existing script or a existing product or even hypothetical product. Now you assess it from a gender perspective, whether you fit into the gender stereotypes or you oppose it. Even though this type of essay focuses on the particular work, whether print or visual, that is television, commercial, magazine, ad, etc., the analysis can be expanded to look at how media as a whole is used to manipulate audiences. That is why many oppose if business companies try to own these media channels, because if you control how a story is being narrated, you can control the mindset of the common people, they say. Okay, the way you project things, the way you project events, how it is narrated, because every time the government can't market for itself. Okay, many times what they do, those who are involved in the government are also part, or they are invested in this media, and through them they propagate their narrative. See, there are multiple ways. Okay, there are three sides to any act or event: my version, your version, and the truth. I will interpret from my perspective, you will interpret from your perspective, but the truth exists. Both of us are partially true. It's not completely true. We are partially true. So that is why media houses are used to manipulate audiences. Many times, earlier, even now, today, Doordarshan just tell news, right? Just display news, inform us about the events. But what about the private TV channels? Apart from propagating news, they propagate their views as well, which is what we should object. What is your duty? You just propagate. You just tell what the news is. We will decide how to interpret it. By propagating their views continuously, they're trying to bombard their perceptions on us. We too feel that, yes, what they are saying is correct or incorrect. The best example could be that of the Kashmir files. Okay, every media houses, most of the BJP governments or supporting media houses, they said, yes, every one of us should watch Kashmiri files. Okay, and most of the state governments proposed tax-free for this film. And there were counter news channels, or I didn't find any counter news, but in the social media it was saying, why don't you propagate news? Why don't you propagate movies about Godhra incident, the massacre that happened in Gujarat, or the massacre of people belonging to lower radar of the society that is happening across India? Why is it you are not highlighting? It could, for example, compare and contrast essay on gender roles across various types of advertisement or television programs such as commercials, soap operas, and music videos. The ability to use multiple sources in support of an argument is one advantage that this type of essay has over other essays on the same topic. This will not only prove your point, but also show that you have done enough research about your topic. So what are you supposed to do? You have to compare and contrast. Okay, compare and contrast with the existing ones, with multiple ads, and say how these common themes are reflecting. So how should the structure of your ad analysis essay be? First, it should have an introduction. It is essential to introduce your ad analysis briefly to your audience, whether they are familiar with it or not. Many times you think that you are familiar with a beauty product, but others would not be. Therefore, you should describe what is the type of product you are advertising or what type of ad analysis you are doing. To help them to know your focal point before they read the essay, it should have a body. It is in the body breakdown of the advertisement, discussing its content and the target audience. Whenever you choose any product, you should mention who are the target audience. Is it youngsters, teenagers, middle-aged people, old-age people? Okay, you should know who the target audience are, which forms an essential piece of your analysis. When writing the body, you want to discuss a point per paragraph. Let's say you're talking about creativity of that, do so in a paragraph. So in essay writing, it's already briefed to you. If you're talking about 10 points, it should be in 10 different paragraphs. You're talking about creativity, all aspects of creativity should be put in one paragraph. The next section should be on another feature. Then conclusion. Your conclusion sums up your analysis and points out recommendations. At the same time, it echoes the content of your essay. It should be clear and concise, as it is a summary of what you have discussed in this article. How to start an advertisement analysis essay. Coming up with a thesis and a topic is a vital step in developing your advertisement analysis essay. The title dictates what you write. Also, it is the first thing your readers see before they decide whether to read your article or not. A captivating title attracts readers, so you want to do your best to get it right. So all aspects of essay holds good for this. You should have a catchy or impressive title. Right after the title, the first few sentences are just as important as the title. It will help if you craft an eye-catching introduction for your ad analysis essay. You can start with a statistics or an informative piece about the product that is being advertised. So advertisement and conclusion should be impressive, attractive, because the attention span of the readers or the viewers is very less. Next, how to write the content for advertisement analysis. The first step is to introduce your thesis by describing the product you have chosen as the sample for your ad analysis essay. You should analyze this product in and out and tell your reviewer whether he or she is conversant with the development of the work being advertised. So you should go in detail about the essay. When you're doing an ad analysis, the person has already done that ad. You're analyzing that ad. So now what you have done as part of the pre-reading activity is you have created the script for that. Okay, now you are going to analyze it. Please note, you don't need to agree with the ad implicit message. Argue your claims in the essay as there is no right or wrong answer about implicit message. But make a claim and then support it through your arguments. In literature, there is no right or wrong answers. It all depends on how you justify it. If you say this particular novel is anti-national or against women, okay, you should justify with evidences from the text. Tell your reviewer why the company decided to go with that mode of advertisement for the product you just described, since there are different modes of publicity in the market. You should be able to portray well and in detail the manner of the advertisement being used by the company. Compare the company's current model of the advertisement from the previous and what impacts it has had on the product market growth or loss. Ad analysis will help you know the loopholes in the market and correct them to beat the competitors. Ad analysis, you could be hired as ad analyst because you will find out the gap. You compare the same product with the rival market, rival company, and see how they are doing and what is the scope for your improvement. Generalize your comments in this essay so that person reading it can make the decision personally and without your personal opinion affecting their judgment. Your personal opinion should not hurt anybody. We have a different target audience in the market depending on the product, so you have to use the right methods to pass the information. For example, if your advertisement is meant for the kids, you can try using animated images or videos to attract them easily. That's why till recently, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you didn't find this animated images in advertisements. Only human beings were part of it. Now you have, especially after the Vodafone Pogo thing, we have this animated creatures. How to conclude an ad analysis? The conclusion should be the summary of the product, mode of advertisement, and how it has influenced the market changes. When concluding your ad analysis essay, to summarize all the steps of an essay analysis. Tell them the most critical things to consider while writing the essay and whether the mode of advertisement worked well for the product marketability you choose or not. We can come up with realistic scenarios to help your analysis look and sound reasonable. Before you settle to write the ad analysis essay, choose an advertisement to consider yourself a potential member of its target audience. So this is what you did as part of the pre-reading activity. You have an advantage on the analysis. Otherwise, if a teacher chooses it for you, make sure you familiarize yourself with the references, graphics, and language that the ad uses. The rhetorical triangle, ethos, pathos, and logos. Here they are given the example of one such ad analysis. Okay, so now you have almost written the script for a particular ad. By writing the script, you have analyzed the in and out of the particular ad. Now you have to write an essay. So the ethos, pathos, and logos link, which is in the website, will give you additional information regarding writing an advertisement analysis.